Do you believe in an intelligent designer? Do you believe in God?
I believe in God.
Can you describe the God you believe in?
No.
You have been on a long search, spiritual search. And what, if any, conclusions have you come to at this stage of the game? After all the reading and the studying and the meditation and the prayer, have you come to any conclusions?
I asked my father the same question. He was in his late 90s when I was conducting a series of videotape interviews with him in this house. He would come to visit me, and then I would visit him in New York. And he spent a lifetime as the president of his temple in New York City, and was what I would consider to be a good and religious Jew. And we had many discussions about theology. And towards the end of his life, he passed when he was 99 years old. I loved him dearly. He was my moral compass. And I had great respect and have respect for his wisdom. When I asked him if he came to any conclusions, he said, "No, son, just more questions." But he was comfortable in the questioning. He was comfortable in the wondering. When you ask me, have I come to any conclusions? No. Based upon my theological studies, I've come to no conclusions, but what it has evoked in me are further questions. Here's the difference between prayer and meditation, Jim. When you pray to God, you're asking. When you meditate, you're listening.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
If you're in the business of prayer to God about the things you want to have, well, you can take that laundry list to Santa Claus.
Right.
Because the Divine Spirit is not interested in your vision of your needs. Or to quote the prophets Jagger and Richards, you can't always get what you want. Get what you need. In meditation, there is no laundry list.
Right.
You shut up, you get out of the way, you create a vortex of wish fulfillment.
Right.
You open your heart to what enters in it, and you accept it peacefully with divine grace.
Right.
I meditate every day and have for 25 years. Meditation in Chardonnay has gotten me through Act 2. I listen. I listen to the signals from many, many biblical texts, from many deities, many faiths, many approaches. I have no favorites. Everybody goes to the prom with me. And it doesn't matter if God is cloaked in the spirit, the wardrobe, the dialect. Jesus, Mohammed, Moses, Krishna, Lao Tzu, Buddha, Paramahansa Yogananda, St. Thomas Aquinas, St. Augustine, Abraham, Nostradamus, St. Francis, the Dalai Lama, Zarathustra, L. Ron Hubbard, Mother Teresa, or 40 more than I can name. And if you bring before me all the prophets, popes, rabbis, teachers, messiahs, and others along the path, to me they all resound to a place in my heart where the Holy Spirit recognizes the God potential within me. My role in this bouillabaisse of divinity is to simply recognize divine grace, to place spirit ahead of self, to surrender, to forgive, to be open, to seek redemption, and finally, to attempt to avoid demonic temptation. Now, that's where I am. Check with me, 6 months or a year from now, or 10 years from now, or 2 incarnations from now, or if this is my 7th cycle on the karmic wheel, maybe the last. Check with me then, or I'll check with you. I don't know. This I do know, that a life lived for me, just for me. No faith trip here. Don't have to mail any checks to a P.O. box in Norfolk. Just for me. A life lived without the presence of God suggests to me a being obsessed with self, with little or no concern for the big picture, the universe, responsibility for our action, and part of the death of romance. I've never met a romantic atheist.
But it is about listening, I think. It is about surrender, and I think it's about being humble.
To borrow a phrase from the prophet Henley, at the end of the day, it's about forgiveness. That's what it's about. Now, if you don't wish to accept the authorship of the phrase under the conditions upon which he was subjected, when he spoke and said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." If you wish to discard that as source material, practicing forgiveness is a cornerstone to decency. And harboring resentment, hatred, jealousy, selfishness is something that feeds at the table where the demons sit.